Hey guys, Ed here. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2015, a little after 7 in the morning, and I just want to reply to a couple comments and whatnot. So, everybody keeps saying, get a lawyer and sue the shit out of the police. It's not that easy. Lawyers cost money, and I don't have that kind of money right now. Go down to the go down to the station, get your guns back. Not that easy, too. Alright, so they returned the Ruger SR-22 and the 1022. I got those back, but I'm still missing that gun safe with the 4 guns in it, and, I might as well say it had a little bit of money in it, but whatever. For all I know, they took the guns out of the safe, and the safe is gone, and the guns are gone. Still missing that Glock, but, I don't give a shit. I bought that Glock at a gun show, from... basically no paperwork, so I don't give a shit. There's nothing that says that was even ever mine. But, the Berettas, on the other hand, they went through Bud's gun shop, which went through my FFL, which, went to me. This can be traced back. Alright, so, Ed, just go down there and get your guns. Get a lawyer and go, sue them and go get your guns. Alright, lawyers cost money. I reopened the GoFundMe thing, and I know a lot of people got mad at me when I did that. I'm not e-begging, alright? I'm not e-begging. I pay my bills, and, but there's this thing called a budget. I got rent, I got electricity, utilities. Well, lawyer costs a lot of money. A lawyer costs a lot of money. It's not like, can you do this for me? Oh, sure, no problem. No, they want money up front. It's called a retainer, and that's expensive. $1,000, $1,500 retainer. That's expensive. The last one I tried, the office of Paul J. Burkhart, and they gave me that letter for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office that said, that they are the cease and desist, and if they want to, mess with me, that they have to talk to the office of Paul J. Burkhart. That's basically, they didn't do anything. And they're still bugging the shit out of me they didn't do anything. They're still bugging me for more money. So, if I go to an attorney, I have to have money in hand to give to them. I can't just, ask them, can you do this for me? And they say yes. They don't do that. They're not going to they're not even going to talk to me without a retainer. And I don't have the kind of money to get a retainer. Right now I got $326 in my account. That ain't shit. That's enough to, it's enough to get me by for the month. I gotta pay Comcast. I gotta pay T-Mobile. I gotta pay utilities, electricity, Florida Power and Lights, FPL. Water's only like $50-something. But then I gotta help Mom. Yes, I live with my mom. I don't give a shit. It's Florida. You know how many people live with their parents still? And technically, I own this part of the house. But I gotta help her with mortgage. So getting an attorney is not very, it's not easy. And then there's, after you give them the money, there's the question not, are they going to help you or not? Or are they just going to say, thank you for coming in, thank you for the retainer, for the sit down, basically, to pay us for the sit down, and bye-bye. There's no, over the phone, well, they can't tell me over the phone whether or not they'll take my case or anything. Anyway, simply going down to the station and saying, hey, can I have my guns back? Alright. Hello, yes, there was an illegal search and seizure at my house while the EMTs were taking me to the hospital. I had a grand mal seizure, and the cops, while this happening, they used it as an excuse to do a search and seizure. I'm missing 5 firearms. 1 is a Glock, and 4 of which are Beretta handguns that were in a safe, which your department ripped out of my dresser drawer, which was bolted by keyable lock. May I please have them back? and what's ever left of the gun cabinet, the gun safe. Yeah, you know how that sounds, and then the whole fact is, my stomach, my anxiety, it's all telling me, don't go in there. Don't go in there. Do not go in there. You're asking for trouble. They're going to do something. You don't want to go there. You're asking for trouble. You go to the sheriff's station and you ask for your stuff back. They're going to do something. They're going to do something. Don't go in there. That's the feeling I'm having from my anxiety, from that feeling in my gut, and as well as my head and in my heart. It's all telling me, don't go in there. Do not go in there. Don't mess with them. Don't even ask them for your shit back. They'll do something. And they can create some trumped up charges, or or they can provoke me into having a panic attack, and then say that, oh well, he's dangerous, or whatever. It's Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. They can, my anxiety, my gut, and my conscience is telling me, don't go in there. Do not go in there. Don't go in there. You don't have any friends to go with you. You don't have any backup. Don't go in there. It's your word against theirs, and they're the sheriff's office. You're just some fat, disabled half Puerto Rican. So, I'm not going to go in there. I'm not going to go in there. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to talk. I don't. Anyway. So, another thing is the 2 videos I put up. Well, I think it's Wookie, because it just makes sense. Back when this shit all started, back in 2012, and I made that video, he wouldn't let it go. I made the one rip-off report, and then shit started escalating, and then filed a report, and he lost his FFL. He didn't have it at first, but then when he got it, I basically was the cause of him losing it. And on top of that, when he was using Nick's Liberty Guns, the Class 3 from Liberty Guns, I'm partially responsible for Liberty Guns getting shut down. If you Google Liberty Guns Military Trail, Nick was the Class 3 FFL, and Wookie was basically using Nick's drop-off box. Using a Class 3 FFL, using a Class 3 drop-off box, ordering weapons, firearms, silence suppressors, from Silencer Code, all, whatever. And the Sheriff's Department was all, and now, I can't say this with 100%, but it's basically, I ruined I ruined it for them. I ruined it for them. All the videos, the YouTube videos, the rip-off report, filing a letter to the BBB, the state attorney's office, basically, getting it out there, I ruined it for them. They no longer able to get their Class 3 toys off the books. They can't. I ruined it for them. How would you feel if you're able to play with all these cool toys, all these Class 3 toys, and ammo and guns and just stuff that basically, if you're military only or certain areas of the police, and then all of a sudden some fat ass half Puerto Rican that you pissed off, gets you busted, and you're no longer able to, you're ruined. You're no longer able to have access to these toys. Well, that's basically it, The Wookie, the sheriff's office, that's basically it. I ruined. Hold on. Sorry about that. Somebody was calling. Anyway, basically, I ruined it for them. The video, the Mosin video, filing the report that, all of that stuff. You know, then, you know, letting the ATF know that hey, this dude is using someone else's Class 3 FFL and their FFL drop-off box, and then using, and then after that another storefront. The guy's name was Security Front. The guy's name was Uzi. Well, Wookie was using his storefront because Nick transferred the drop-off box to that guy's storefront, and Wookie was using it. Well, I told the ATF, and that basically ruined it for Wookie and all the sheriff's office that were affiliated with Wookie, and that's it. That's basically it. You know. I mean, would you let that go? Would you let that go? I ruined their connection with Class 3 items, and brought things, you know, to light. And you know, he lost his shit, started stalking me, and then the sheriff's department's like, all right, let's, you know, okay, no problem. You know, he fucking ruined it for us. So it's just, that's the only thing that makes sense, because I don't go out, I don't do anything. You know, literally, it's summer. I ain't leaving the house. Literally, not leaving the house. Too hot. I don't. The last time I went out, you know, I forget it. But, yeah, since I said something, he's losing his shit all over again. He's now calling himself Big Bad Wolf S. And I'm not using his name, because if I use his name, then, you know, then I'm going to get a knock on the door from the sheriff's department saying, you know, you need to leave him, you need to leave our friend alone. Anyway, this video's already at close to 13 minutes, and, you guys can just see for yourself. I mean, but yeah, look it up. Liberty Guns, it used to be called Liberty Guns Military Trail, and the Class 3 was Nick. And what was going on is Nick was letting Wookie use his Class 3 FFL to buy things, order things, and he was using the drop-off box. So, you know, basically he had full access to, as if he was a Class 3 FFL. And I ruined it for him. I reported him after he ruined the Mosin. I didn't know about the whole drop-off box thing until afterwards, when, you know, some people that he's also ripped off told me about it, and I freaking told the ATF, you know, when I was reporting that he had destroyed the Mosin and stole the AR-15 that I put on co-assignment with him. And, so it's basically like that. And the whole, you know, the illegal search and seizure, whatever the hell you want to call it. Well, you know, he went into the store. I got proof of that, but, you know, I can't really do shit about it. Got proof of that. He went into the store, said he was me, started threatening people left and right, saying he was Eddie Crawford. Well, I don't call myself Eddie Crawford. I call myself Edwin Crawford. You know, named after my grandfather, who was a good man. And, you know, so he went into the store, threatened the pharmacy staff, damaged some of the property, kicked some displays or the soda machine. I don't know. I'm just trying to remember what Deputy Newman told me that happened. But he's all, we got you on video, we got you on video, we got you on video. And you can ask him. You can ask Deputy Newman. He said that there's a video. I haven't seen it, but he said that they got me on video, that there's a video. Deputy Newman, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, about 5'8", African-American fella, and his partner, I can't remember his partner, but he had this dragon gecko tattoo from his wrist to his arm, green, purple, and pink. I can't remember his name. Remember the tattoo? And it was basically, you listen here. You listen here. Well, I didn't want to listen, and I went back inside. And I was rude to them. I should have listened to more of the story. But anyway, I went to Walgreens I went into Walgreens. They didn't know who the hell I was. I showed that picture of Wookie, and they started flipping and told me to leave. So you guys decide for yourself. I'm still trying to get a lawyer. Some people are trying to help me out, but it's not that easy. Getting a lawyer isn't like snapping my fingers. It costs money. It costs money. I am not working. I'm disabled. I don't even know if I got a job right now. If a job that I can handle. Desk jobs. I do desk jobs if I ever get a job. I don't even know if see, now I'm just putting myself into anxiety. But yeah, I'm not going to the sheriff's department without some sort of backup, like an attorney that will have my back. And getting an attorney is going to take some time because it costs a lot of money. And then there's picking out an attorney, talking to an attorney and seeing if, asking them, will you take my case? Well, this is a case concerning not just one party, but two parties, and that's an individual and the sheriff's department, primarily the sheriff's department. So it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, money, and I'm not gonna go into the sheriff's department asking for my stuff back without some sort of backup, because I don't feel safe there. I don't feel safe there. Every bit of me says, are you fucking stupid? Do not go in there. Do not go in there. It's like, why not just stick my hand in a hornet's nest and shake it about? You don't do it. So, sorry this video is so long. Thank you for watching. Have a nice morning, day.